Okay, I'm pretty happy right now. I did a Facebook update. I'll make an update here. So I worked 4 hours yesterday on this. Could not get these bolts off and took a break. I thought it was going to be an hour break. It ended up being 2.5 hours of me working in the yard and garden. And then I wasn't in the mood to work on my car anymore. So I sprayed everything down again. The bolts I couldn't get loose. Any ones I possibly thought I might be taking off, I sprayed down. So, oh man, ugh, this this is axle and it's heavy, and I'm probably gonna have to do like I did with my struts and use my jack as like a third strong hand to hold it up. And it is helpful when you have extra hands. But Delara is not allowed to have any contact with me, much less help me learn new practical skills. But this video's for her. Let me see. Ooh, can you see? Can you see? Oh, there you go. All right. First of all, anybody working on old cars, or pretty much any car, you're going to have stuck bolts. So far, I've only broken one socket. I have several cheap socket sets. You can buy them individually. And I have bought like a 19 millimeter individually. So to get off this, and some things you got it, they're supposed to be at my torque wrench is over there somewhere, but you got to torque it really, really tight. And I don't know what's wrong with my car. I don't know why this did this, but I've got to get a new car soon. So I'm just hoping to be able to drive this for a couple of months and Grubhub all I can. I'm gonna try to Grubhub every day and hope we get a lot of tips, because that's what makes the difference between making a minimum wage and making a living wage doing Grubhub, is people being generous with their tips. And food, it's really a luxury, really. I think, if you think about, well, how much would it take you to want to go pick up your own food and interrupt whatever you're doing with your family, whatever. And $10, would you do it for 10? I know lots of people would pay somebody $20 just to go, on top of their food, just get my food so I can, not have to get out the traffic or whatever. So it would be nice if people, and I feel bad too, because sometimes people, oh, I don't need to get off on that. Let me focus on my car. Okay. Yeah, I can complain about Grubhub later, but I'm very thankful for Grubhub. But my car needs to run. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to get a new car the next couple of months. This, I don't know if there's something really bad with this that made this. I just don't think I can drive it for much longer. So, okay, so when you have an old car, you have to have penetrating oil, and my mechanic friend recommends Croyle, and it's made here in Nashville. And I got some, but I couldn't find it. I've got stuff all over, but I've got PB Blaster, I've got liquid wrench. When I did my exhaust manifold, I just used liquid wrench, and I didn't break any bolts off or anything. PB Blaster, liquid wrench. Lucas has some, but the penetrating oil and breaker bars. These are really strong. Now, the ratchets are not. If you use a ratchet like you would use a breaker bar, I've never broken a ratchet or socket wrench, but I have broken sockets. Lots of sockets. I've broken lots of sockets. So this, let's see. I get a lot of things from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight in Napa, but I broke a breaker bar from Harbor Freight, and they replaced it. these are Carlisle, wait a minute, Chrome. Okay, this one is not a Carlisle. This is, and this has got if you get a 1/2 inch, this one is a, well, what is it? 3/8. That's almost 1/2 inch. It's 3/8 inch. And that's what this is. This is a 1/2 inch drive, but this is an adapter, so I can put a 3/8 inch drive on it. And my $30 on sale, and I knocked it over, so I got to organize everything again. That's not paint, but I knocked it over in my brother's garage, and I said, if you're finding, I didn't find all the sockets because they were all so. Okay, so you got these holes, and this is a really, I highly recommend this $30. I don't think you can beat it. Okay, that takes an even smaller adapter, and this came with one, and then it'll go on a 3/8 inch. And I've broken adapters before, so probably wouldn't be a bad idea if you spent $60 and bought 2 sets of these. You maybe keep one in your house, or one in your garage and one in your car in case you break a socket. So, okay. So I got this big one. I think this is the big one I got from Harbor Freight, and I broke it here, and they replaced it for free. And then I think I got this one from Napa. Harbor Freight's my favorite tool place. And if they replace this stuff for free, you just can't beat that. Okay, so here's this. So this is for Delara. Okay, so what you do, these are breaker bars. And this is a functional but not ideal breaker bar. When I did my struts before, you need a pipe, and this is the bottom part of a broken umbrella, and you can see it's bent, but that doesn't matter. I put it back in the umbrella because at that point I think the top part of the umbrella wasn't broken, so I bit this out and got it back in. And when I needed a cheater bar, they call these a cheater bar. Best things to get like a steel pipe. This is like aluminum or something, but it still works because actually I think I was using this smaller one. And the reason I have 2 breaker bars is sometimes you have, the bigger one gives you more leverage, and this is just me. I don't know what other people, real mechanics say, but sometimes you got less room to work with. And anyway, so you just slide it over that, and then it gives you, was it Archimedes? Somebody said, give me a lever long enough and he could move the world. I see, if Delara were here, we would look up to see exactly who it was who made that quote, who he was, what his name was, all about him, what else he did, when he lived, where he lived, and we would explore all those things because that's the way I teach. Yeah, we bounce. That's the good thing about having a mind that goes off into a bunch of rabbit trails is it leads to exciting places. And she should be here with me. So anyway, so that's the lever. They call it lever in England. And it's amazing how much, see, that's a math problem. So we bring math into it, about how much more force you can get with how long of a lever. That would be a good math lesson. So I think the recommendation is like a 4-foot long steel pipe. But since the only place this is getting bent, and this is lighter, so if you've got a broken umbrella, save the bottom piece if you throw it away. And I was also kind of taking apart the top part of it because I was curious about. So I'm keeping the top part to show to Laura, and she could take it apart and see how it works and how the string. You got the winder thing, and you got the string, and how does that work to make the umbrella open and close? I think that's interesting, and I want to explore that with her. So the top part of my broken umbrella is not trash. It's a science project. So, okay, so that's what you need. So if you have a broken umbrella, um, I like I said, it's lightweight, and the only place it bent was there, and it didn't bend so much I can't use it. So if you have a broken umbrella, save the pole, and if you can't use it, give it to somebody like a teenager or a single mom or somebody or a boy or a man or anybody who wants to work on their own cars, because this can make the difference between you successfully completing a job and having to have your car towed to a professional or calling a mobile mechanic. That's an option too. But mobile mechanics cost more. It's a luxury. So you pay a little more for the mobile mechanics. But I've done it. So, okay, so here we go. Now I think we're fixing to get somewhere. So that was my yeah. Never, 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 never use a cheater bar. This. Never, never slip it over a ratchet. Never do that. Like I said, I've never done that, and I've never broken a ratcheting socket wrench. But I don't want to. So okay. So I used that and I loosened up um the nut here, and then I was doing it and it wasn't going anywhere. And then I got my and I really like their brake line wrenches, or what do they call them? Flare. Can't can't bend all the way around. Anyway, I got these to change my brake line, and I got a set, and they were not outrageous. And if you buy your tools a little bit at a time, that's what it is. It's Pittsburgh double end flare nut wrench set. This is a 19 millimeter. So I got this 19 millimeter socket, and I wish Delara were here, and then she could do the same thing. She could hold this, and I could do this, even though I have two hands and could do it myself. So, and I want Delara I'm going to save this somewhere. I'm going to send this to Delara somehow and say, this is what I was doing. I think this is April 16th, 2021. I hope I see her Monday. And I'm going to tell the judge, I've made car repair videos, and I want Delara to watch them. Would you please give Delara permission to watch me? Teach her everything I know about working on cars. And she loves it. But she was with me. She loved helping with the car. She helped me put in a fan blower motor. And probably other things too. Okay, so we hold that one still, and then we ratchet. And I just love ratchets because they make that's such a satisfying sound when it clicks, and then you just love it. I think a ratcheting socket wrench is my favorite tool. Okay, now it's loose enough. I can unscrew it. Ugh. I think I'll leave it in there till I get the next one out. And then I've got my, it's only handy if I keep it close to you, but it is dandy. So sometimes they have these like for free or super cheap. They're pretty cheap anyway, but they're magnets. And what did I do there? Something's broke off in there. I don't know if it's fixable. Pittsburgh. That came from Harbor Freight. All right, so we got that off. Put this in here so I don't lose it, and it sticks to your car. Probably want a level place. So it is a handy dandy magnetic parts holder. Okay, so got that one off. So now we're going to go to the other one. But breaking those stuck bolts loose that is just the hardest part of it. It takes so much time. But having a cheater bar makes a big difference. And taking these things off down here, those three down there, that's just too hard. This is an easier way to do it. And my mechanic friend Johnny told me, because I was going to take off his tie rod thing. He says you don't have to do that. So we're gonna see if he's right. So, all right, come on, there we go. So we're gonna ratchet. Love that click. I think it's already loose enough to off. And so then we're going to put this up in the handy dandy magnetic parts hole. I don't lose it. And it's a good thing, like if you're in your driveway, it's a good thing to have a tarp or a blanket or something to see things. And it's also a good idea to roll one of those magnet things you can also get from Harbor Freight. I should ask Harbor Freight to sponsor me. Give them so much advertising. So you roll that over and it picks up metal. So it won't end up in your car if you have things like screws. Screws are really bad for tires. Alrighty then. Let's see. Let's take out the bottom first. This doesn't matter. And I got grease all over my brake rotor, so I'm going to have to spray all that with brake clean. All right, am I unscrewing this? Screwing it out. If it makes a difference if I hold it or not, but I think it probably does. So Johnny said, then you know what I can do? Now I'll probably clean these a little bit before I screw them. I like to clean and brush off these things. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I kind of think it might. Sometimes I get trash in them, and I've got lots of wire brushes that I got from Harbor Freight. I think I'll screw these together and then clean them up before I put them back on. See, this is the part of working on cars that I like, is when I feel like I'm actually getting something done. And the good thing about, I mean, I know this, probably nobody wants to watch this, and somebody who wants to know how long does it really take, somebody that's not experienced like me, and somebody who wants to know how long does it really take to do these jobs, because Scotty Kilmer gets on there and he'll, he never, well, sometimes people do have complications, but a lot of times they won't. Like there was one guy doing he said he was doing his videos from work, and he was trying to keep them quick, and he ran into some kind of problem, and they were like, well, you didn't show that, and he says, well, I just didn't have time. But pretty much anything, I really think at this point, pretty much anything you want to do, you can find somewhere on the internet or on Facebook. And it's good to know different ways, because like I said before, this is coming out. Like I said before, there's more than one ways to skin a cat, and this was not the way my Haynes manual told me to do this, but it's still going to work. So, according to Johnny, and he's kind of on call if I have a problem. I always call him, and I think he appreciates my efforts and encourages me. What's that? That's the wrong one. That's my axle nut. I just reached up here and randomly grabbed something that looked like it might be right, but it wasn't. Whoa! See, that's the good thing about having a beater car, is it's usually already scratched up and banged up. So if you do something like I just did, you don't freak out. Scotty Kilmer's got a video on why you should drive a beater car. All right, are you ready? Let's see if I can get this pulled down. It's really greasy. All right. Ugh. Do I have to rock it a little bit? Okay. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Come on, come on, come on. Ugh. It's okay to make noises like that. Unless your boyfriend's around and he thinks it's unfeminine. Ugh. All right. Is it stuck? Let's see. He said, there it goes. Uh-oh. I need to take my brake line off. Not off. I need to take it. Do I need to take it loose? I'm going to take it loose. So I think it needs a little play in there. Let's see. Oh, where's the wrench? Ah, ooh. 14 millimeter. Got the right one first try. That's awesome. Ugh. So, and the brake line was not hard to, I just did that. It was not hard to do. Like I said, a lot of these jobs, the very hardest thing is getting things loose. I was really nervous because there's a metal brake line up here and I was afraid I'd do something bad to it, but I didn't. The ideal situation if you work on your own car is to have two, because especially if you're that's kind of my goal, is to have two vehicles, because I have to have a running vehicle to make money. And yeah, so all right, come on, come on, come on. You know, something that would be even. Oh, I think I'll remember. This is the brake line. Why is it taking me so long to unscrew it? Oh, I should have had my ratchet. Let's see. Is it a 14-inch? 19. Where'd my 14 go? 15. And it's a lot nicer when your tools are in order, but I haven't felt like putting these back in order. I feel like, well, dang it, I'm liable to knock the thing over again. I mean, if it's on the floor, it's in my way. 19. What's that one? 14. That was my 19. Whoopsie. Let's see. Is it loose or loose? So I'm gonna go this way. I don't like those other wrenches. I like the socket wrenches. All right. So that's loose. Get that out. All righty. I got things up here I probably don't need up here, but so I got this. Okay. Do you think I'm making a lot of noise now? You should have heard me when I was in labor with Callie. It was awful. It was so bad that the nurse came and told me to be quiet because I was upsetting the other other moms. And couldn't help it until I got my epidural. But what's funny is when I went in there and I wasn't in that much pain and I heard a woman screaming from down the hall, I kind of made fun of her. So usually when I do that, let's see. Ugh. God gets me back and teaches me a lesson. I think this is gonna. I hope this isn't gonna be as hard to get back as it is getting out. And he said you can take off the tie rod in, but you don't have to. Ugh, come on now. This is real life. Is it the come on. Ah, success. Okay. Can you see? Ugh. I'm sure that's annoying me making those noises. Okay. Can you see anything? Okay. It might be too sunny or whatever. Okay. So what we got here is I'd like to prop this up under something. Ugh. All right. Well, this axle. Do I have something to prop this up under? The axle. Man, this scares me. I'm afraid it's gonna break off or something. Ugh. That would be bad. baby. Come on. I think it's. Okay. That makes me feel better. Can you see? All right. So this is loose. This is my strut. That was probably the hardest job I've ever done. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning in the dark. Okay, so he said this is supposed to bend down. Man, this. Somebody on YouTube's folded down. It folded down. Dang it. It folded down. Ugh. Well, it came loose. All right. Maybe I do have to take this tie rod off. All right, let's try that. Now that I've got my, let's see, what was that? 119. Ugh. I took it off. It did not have a cotter pin on it. Okay, so now that I've got my cheater bar, I think it was it might have been a 14. No, that wasn't. I think it was a 14. Where's my 14? Where is my 14? Oh, I think I already had it loose, so shouldn't need my breaker bar. But getting the I feel better having that supported. All right, so that's loose. See this? Look, I mentioned this the other day. When you're that's not a 14. What is this? Maybe it's a 17. Yeah, it's not a 14. Ugh. Yeah, my 17. This is my 17. It's cracked in 3 places. My met trench. It's the 12 point. It's for like the American or the Japanese. And I broke it. No. What did I just drop? That's nice when you have room to work and when you've got a helper. And it's nice when your tools are organized. Actually, I've got one of my spare sockets set. This was on sale at Harbor Freight. And it was like $15. And that big old one has like that's 30 on sale, and it has 100 and something pieces in it. Okay, so this should have and what I want to do is get like a white paint and say, okay, this is where this goes and this is where this goes, because if you drop this, they're not going to all fall out. Some of them might, but they're not going to all fall out. There's 19. There's, man, I cannot tell you how much I miss my little girl and wish she was here with me. I might see her Monday. 17 millimeter. There's a 17 millimeter. Okay, here we go. Yep, that was supposed to be 17 millimeter. So since it was already loosened up, I might be able to get it just with a ratchet. It was on there pretty tight, but it should be. Take this off and see if I can get the tie rod to pop out. Might look on my phone. Wait a minute, why isn't this doing anything? Let's see, is it going the right direction? No. See, if that's another thing. If you're looking at something, clockwise is tight, counterclockwise is to loosen it. So right is tight and left is loose. And when you're working on something from behind, you can get confused like I just did. Let's see. Okay, so it's going to go this way. So it's going to go, that's the right way. And I might have accidentally switched. I've done that before. Switched the little selector thing with my finger. Okay, there we go. And when I took this out earlier, this does not have a cotter pin on it. See, and it's kind of a strange shape. Isn't that interesting? It looks like a Lego toy or something. Okay, there's my handy dandy tool. All right, so you can't see it, but my glasses on. I should have my glasses on. I'm gonna try to tap this out. I thought that's what. I think that's what. Oh, where's my hammer? Oh, where's my hammer? A big hammer. Now, if Laura were here, I actually want my garage in my house. I would like to have that not as a garage to work on cars, but I would like to have it like as a workshop or, yeah, like a workshop. And I'd like to have more concrete. I'd like to add a garage and have the concrete and then have rolling tool things so I could roll it from that part into where my car would be. That's a dream. All right, I need my hammer. Where is my hammer? All right, maybe I'm sitting on it. Let's a big hammer. All right. There it is. It was behind me. I'm gonna have to clean all my tools because I dropped some in the gravel. Let me see. Okay. Do this way. All right. Can you see? Can you see? Somebody in the world is going to want to watch this, even if they watch it, other than Delara, even if they watch it at double speed, because they're going to want to know what problems they can run into. All right, am I looking at this right direction? Let's see. Okay, you can't really see the, okay, this, and I took the nut off here, and I'm going to try to pop this out. Wait a minute. Yeah, they say be careful not to. Ah, woo! Did you see that? See, that didn't take much. All right, while we're here, let's see. Can you see? I don't know. Maybe you can see good enough. Okay. This is on my little rolling feet. Alrighty. So this is what it was supposed to do. And, oh, one of the things I did yesterday, I think during that 4 hours, was clean some of this grease up, but you could see that there's a lot I didn't get to. But it doesn't stink, so just think if it smelled bad, this would be even worse. What is that? That's a piece of metal. I think there was something very wrong with this car, and I kind of wish I could have replaced it a long time ago. All right, so this came off. Ugh. All right. And this, it's supposed to. Oh, there we go. I just pulled it some more. See right here, that's the. Oh, I think I need a little more. I think I need a little more room to work. Now, originally, I was trying to get. See, I was trying to get these. Is there 3 there? There's 3 underneath, but there's 3 bolts, and they're really hard to get to. Okay. So that, I don't know what made this break. There is a cord charge for these. I think it's only like $11. Okay. So, there we go. That's my axle. Next step is there's some kind of clip, and I have to pry. They say you have to pry something out. Let's see. I can't really see real good. I think I'm gonna wipe my hands off and look at my my Haynes manual. Okay, but this is, I mean, the worst part should be over. I need to find some grease though before I see. There's a seal in there, and see there's a wire right there, and I think it goes in this way, and then you got to put a block or something. Wonder if like a jar lid would work, a metal jar lid. Let's see. Some people have sockets big enough. Oh man, but I don't think I do. Oh, you know what? This is the one. I think I do. I think I can put that in there and hammer it in. Maybe it was designed that way. That would be a good design. Because if you already have this to get the axle nut off, where's the axle nut? See? And then if it's also the right size to get that in evenly, that was really nice of them. People need to think more about stuff like that. So that was a nice engineering thing. Okay, so we know that makes me happy. But okay, so I'm gonna put there's my socket and the transmission seal. And we've got this puller. Let me get my manual. Where's my manual? I think I'm going to stop this right now and start it back when I get figured out. I'm going to stop it and go get the rest of my stuff I'm going to need to finish.